Hi everyone. This is my first YouTube and my first channel making sort of thing, speaking out on things that I feel. And I just decided to do this as a sort of therapy for myself because I'm not good at speaking or looking at myself or talking in general. As you can see, I'm always talking with my hands. I like stutter. You'll see me like jitter, my eyes get big, and I just get really like scared, I guess, sometimes. Just a real anxiety I have when I'm talking, and I wanted to get this out there for people who have a similar problem that I have with social anxiety and, just sort of how to deal with it because I don't see a lot of videos on it that are, you know, I see a lot of people, here's the thing, like you see a lot of people say, "Oh, I have social anxiety." And you listen to them talk and you see the things that they do and you're like, "Oh, that person doesn't have social anxiety." Yet they're on YouTube, saying that, "Oh, I have social anxiety," while they're like screaming and or, doing something really outgoing, and you really don't see them show it. And that's what's so hard about it is some people, they show their anxiety like me, and it's just I'm kind of like, you know, I guess nervous. I get lost for words really easily when I talk. Like when I'm writing stuff down, the words come really fast to me and I'm able to write, and it doesn't take as long, but when I'm talking to a screen or a person, even worse when a person, I lag really bad. Sometimes I'll forget to say the word like it or something and I'll feel like a complete dumbass just, talking, and it really starts to hurt me and it bugs me and I feel really upset about it and I just want to cry when that happens. I'll just be talking to somebody, they'll be like, "Oh, what do you want for dinner?" or something, and I know what I want to say, but I like lag, and a different word comes out that I expected, you know. Just like right now, you'll see in the video, I'm trying not to do it, but I say a lot of "I don't knows" and "likes" and um ums, stuff like that. And I think a part of it has to do with not speaking a lot as a kid and feeling just sort of like an outcast, especially in high school and growing up and with my family and everything. I just felt like a huge outcast. And I put that label on myself for such a long time that I was very mute and I didn't really say anything and I wasn't really aware of what was going on around me. And I know right now, at this point in my life, I'm 22 years old, I understand that I am definitely not alone. And at first, it was a very sad feeling because it's just like, okay, that doesn't make me unique, that doesn't make me an individual. This just makes me like everybody else. But then I started thinking about it in a more positive way, and it's, it occurs to me that um, maybe I it's more of a united thing. I shouldn't feel so alone in it, and everybody else has it, and that's why I'm here making these videos, because I'm sure somebody's going to stumble upon it and say, "Oh, okay, I understand what she's talking about," sort of thing, even though I'm not the easiest to understand. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who stumble upon this and say, "Oh, that girl is faking it," or some weird stuff, and I don't really care because I'm putting it on YouTube and I'm expected to hear all sorts of weird comments and stuff like that. Anyway, I think one of the hardest things about having social anxiety that worsens the problem is being called dumb when you're really not. At work, all the jobs I've had, I've been called dumb. Why is she working here? Um, she doesn't know how to do anything. She messes up. I get that a lot of times. She's just an airhead, and I get that from everybody I know, except for the people who I'm really close to and have a really good connection with, and they understand me and where I'm coming from. But it's a very few and in between people that I don't really see often, and they say, "Oh, you know what? You're a smart girl. I get you. You just think a different way than a lot of people," and that sort of thing. So when I get in those situations, it hurts. It hurts really bad for those who are not exactly easy speaking, and they just, I think I have ADD too because my mind is constantly going. It's just always thinking about everything. It's very tiring, and it makes it very hard for me to do my job. and I'm sure people who are in that same similar situation with social anxiety and ADD, it's very bad. And then especially if you add on top of it being introverted, because that makes you very quiet. So now not only are you looked at as slow, you're quiet, you're thoughtless. And I get told that all the time. I'm slow, I'm quiet, I'm thoughtless. And those words are just horrible. And they really hurt me because it makes me feel more alone and isolated. It's like, okay, I can't stand up for myself. I can barely, speak out the things that I want and need, and yet there's people here calling me these names. And I try not to pay too much attention to it. I mean, all my life I've been told sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you. That's the most untrue thing I've ever heard of in my life. I mean, that's simply not true, because those words, half the time, especially at work, when we have people that need you for certain tasks, they don't say that for nothing. I feel like they can't say it for nothing, and it's very hard. It's like, okay, that's my work performance, and of course you got to look at who's the one saying it. Those people can be a little strange too. But I don't like to judge anybody. I don't like to say anything, and that's the funny thing. When you're like this, when you're the one that's going to get hated on, and while you're sitting there and you don't think bad about anybody. I don't feel like there's any real reason. I'm such a peaceful person. I don't waste my time. I can't possibly waste my time thinking about how stupid and horrible somebody is, because my mind's too busy focusing on a million other things at the same time, mostly that have to do with just crazy questions. I'm always questioning everything. So what else was I going to say? And and then I wrote these notes down earlier so I would have like kind of a guideline of what I wanted to talk about, because it's really hard to just get it all out at once and know exactly what you're trying to say. But I got a lot of people telling me, and I don't know if it's just because I'm 5'1", but I get a lot of people saying, hey, maybe not a lot of people saying this, but me saying it to myself, I guess, and me feeling it from other people. Some people will look at you and say, you act like you should be 16. A lot of people, just by the way I act, they think I should be a lot younger, and I'm sure a lot of you people think that. I mean, I'm 22 years old. I'm a small girl, so I probably look a lot younger for that reason. And I'm of Sicilian descent, and I have a lot of those features. So I don't know if it's the way I look, but just a lot of people thinking I'm a lot younger and immature than I really am, and that really hurts too. And I really just don't think there's anything wrong with being introverted and quiet, and and I think I thought of something else earlier. I can't really remember it. I'm sorry. But I hope you enjoyed what I've had to say so far, or got something out of it. I mean, I think that's all I have to say for now.